What is up, guys? Eric from EBM Productions here. For the third time, actually, I've been trying to redo this video because one of these I go off on a big tangent because I'm a little bit passionate about that topic. But yeah, I'm here with a few reactions and some news and then some predictions. I'm going to go through it as quick as possible, really quick. So, first off, congrats on the Korean Zombie for having such a good career. And I just want to say that he's a legend and a guy that motivated me at one point a lot in how he fights because he showed how to persevere. And yeah, so Max won like we predicted, like almost everybody predicted, just not via a TKO of a million punches on the face of TKZ, which was kind of better. A flash, like an instant knockout, is just better. And I'm happy that he retired, like the Korean Zombie, that he retired afterwards for his own health before he gets to that point where it's just a punching bag and he just doesn't want to admit that it's time. Plus, a lot of these guys, I often wonder, why do they keep returning when the damage on the body is so bad? Mentally, it's horrible because of a lot of people just doubting them from that point. Meanwhile, it's not always just direct doubt, it's more like stress about, we're worrying about the person because we don't want to see these people get hurt so bad that they are like Muhammad Ali at the end of his career, or Ronnie Coleman in the bodybuilding area. We don't want that. We want them to, let's say, get a last win at one point when they feel, okay, we're not going to get the belt now anymore. Or they had the belt and they feel, oh shit, new era, the new fighters are just a tiny bit too good for me and I'm a little bit slower. So rather than hurt myself, I'll just move on. So I'm very happy. I wish him the best. And I hope that he makes a bajillion dollars after his retirement and that he can be a role model for a ton of people. Yeah. TKZ, Korean Zombie, a legend, absolute legend. Now on to the next topic. It's about Aljamain Sterling and how he's been taking the loss versus Sean O'Malley. And to me, it seems he's in a good place mentally post-knockout. And he said, he admitted on his stream, I think a day ago or a day or two, he admitted that the only reason he feels he lost is because he was impatient. And I understand completely what he means. He was impatient because of Sean O'Malley's footwork. Sean O'Malley stayed away from him and the wrestling like masterfully. Now, this same way O'Malley won is the same way I always said people would beat Habib or Usman, etc. All these strong wrestlers, because if the person with the wrestling can't shoot on you or grab your legs or hips, or even control your upper body to sweep and trip you, then they do not have the power anymore. You, the striker, have the power. That's why years back I was like, maybe Conor can do that by dancing away from Khabib. But at that point, Khabib was so good at shooting in from far distances. Still, he was still the best, in my opinion, to shoot in from far distances. So that's the only reason why that happened. But still, also, these guys didn't have the footwork that O'Malley has. And what happened is, Aljamain realized that he didn't get a takedown in the first round and he struggled to get him down or keep him there. And thus, he was like, holy crap, holy cow, I need to make something work. And he got overeager and rushed in, got caught coming in and slept. And that is the perfect game plan for anybody facing a wrestler or secondary working on clinches and disengaging via clinches. Clinch, footwork, get out, move. You can attack in those times in between. This is another reason why Gaethje, in my opinion, had such a good base to beat Khabib back then, but obviously he didn't use it in the way that he should have, in my opinion. But, well, not like that. Let me not say it like that. I say he had a chance to beat Khabib if he used his clinch work and footwork a little bit better. But again, we can say that about a lot of fighters that Khabib faced. And same thing with Aljamain now. A lot of fighters that he faced could have gotten away, but they didn't, and only O'Malley did, and now he's the bantamweight champion. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because there's a false narrative that has, well, I don't see it anymore. Like, people kind of didn't grab that one, but I saw one or two media outlets talk about how the crowd is probably why the crowd booing Aljamain is probably why he lost. And I was like, this is bullshit. You can't tell me that people yelling at somebody is why he lost in a fight where skills, the fighter's skills, is what wins him or loses him the fight. You can't tell me that. Them booing him and stuff didn't spur him on to get O'Malley down. He didn't probably, like most likely, he didn't even hear them. That's it. So yeah, guys, I'm going to stop it here because I can keep going on about this topic. I have a lot of points on this one. But personally, I fought in smaller stadiums where it's reasonably full, like let's say 100 people. And them roaring was so loud that I couldn't really hear what they were saying individually, and I didn't care. I was focusing at the task at hand, and I was focusing on listening to my coaches while I'm doing it. And I'm pretty sure an MMA fighter, a pro, would do that at a different level. So yeah, let's move on. Next up, we're talking about some boxing, guys. We're talking about Alexander Usyk versus Dubois, and specifically the low blow. So I'm going to be honest, I didn't really watch the full fight. I watched the highlights. I wasn't in the mood to watch it. It was one of those fights where a lot of people obviously just picked Usyk to win versus Dubois via landslide and all that kind of stuff. I didn't. I said it was going to be quite a close fight, but with Usyk just barely scraping by. It would be a lot like when he fought Chisora, if I'm not mistaken. For some odd reason, I mix up Derek Chisora and Dillian White. For some odd reason. Even like after years of watching them both fight, I mix them up. And I hate that still hasn't been sorted out in my head. But anyway, that low blow is so hard to differentiate if it was on the cup or lower or not, because of the white pants that Usyk was wearing. Now, I'm on the side of, like, let's say that shot didn't land or it just touched Usyk, then it wouldn't have changed the outcome of Usyk just stopping Dubois later on or just beating him via decision. Because I actually picked Usyk via decision because I thought Daniel Dubois is actually very good. He would last everything. But that's not what happened. Now there's just this gigantic controversy on this. And I checked the low blow afterwards, and I was just like, this is rough, man. It can be argued both ways. That's all I'm going to say. I'm leaning by 10% towards Usyk being correct, that it might have touched here and pulled and made the cup pull down. Like, it pulled loose and pushed back like a snapping motion on his, genitals. And that might have been the reason why he was like, holy cow. And then maybe it was just smart, acting out a little tiny bit to take up the full 5 minutes and use that as energy, obviously. Anyway, cool. Let's move on. Alex Pereira reacting to Anthony Smith and the shit talk that Anthony Smith has been saying lately. So actually, I didn't think Alex was even going to reply to Anthony's talking shit about him. And it's kind of weird to me because, like, the last few years, Anthony Smith has gone from strong contender that can talk his talk to a bitter contender that lost a few times, won a few times, and is now a bit pissed off that a lot of these guys are at the top of the division, and that Potan, for instance, just jumped the line and showed his merit. When Anthony, in fact, he shows it, then he drops it. He's very inconsistent to me. And also, I feel he could be a lot better. I mean, he beat Gustafsson, and he beat him quite well. Like, to me, I like Anthony Smith and his style and stuff. It's just sometimes it seems like he doesn't use all his tools, or he has a mental block that doesn't allow him to use all his tools at that moment. Now, that doesn't mean it's an excuse or anything. It just means he lost. And it doesn't give him like the authority to tell Alex that, oh, you're boring or average, because of how he fought versus Jan. When in fact, Jan was the champion, he lost, and he's still one of the top contenders. Like, please, Alex did very well versus him. And then when Potan said, like, oh, it's just these washed up vets that are talking bad about me, I was just like, holy cow, holy cow. Now, this doesn't set up a fight between them. Smith is way too low on the rankings to be a viable fight for him, unless, let's say, Alex fights for the belt, he loses, then he needs an opponent. Anthony Smith would be good because it's better business when there's a little bit of beef. Anyway, a lot of the takes that Anthony Smith has been very wild to me the last while. And I hope actually he just like pulls back, because I understand it when you're not that active or you're not even training as much, and you see other people like do the training, fight, compete, and achieve things. You get very antsy, very anxious, and for some odd reason, we guys that train to fight, we start talking a lot of crap. It's just second nature. Like, I thought I beat that part of me a while ago, but this year, when I've been out for so long, from training even, has taught me that it's always inside of us. And I've seen it in many fighters the last while, like last year or two even. If they haven't fought for a while, then the talking comes out. It's kind of like we don't humble ourselves in training at the moment, so we get that kind of delusional arrogance on top that we need as a fighter to win, but it gets into the delusional territory. And unfortunately, we say a lot of things that should not be taken to the head. McGregor is a good example of this. Chandler as well. Honestly, I love Micheal Chandler like crazy, but it's really something that happens with him. And now Anthony Smith. And then, yeah, the point is, you get what I'm trying to say. Let's move on. I want to give my reaction on Mike Tyson's training video with Ngannou. And also one of the topics he said, one of his statements where he said that Tyson Fury has never been hit by a guy like Ngannou, and he thinks that with his help, Ngannou is going to hit even harder and all that stuff, and that's why he's going to win, yada yada. Now, the video was pretty cool. It was like this movie trailer thing. I really enjoyed it. Only thing that I did enjoy is like, I actually clicked on that video because I thought it was them showing everything that we're working on, etc. And yeah, and also with Ngannou showing improvements to his boxing skills, because I saw a video of him hitting a bag a little bit ago, and I was just like, I thought he cleaned it up a lot by the end of his UFC career. Like, this looks really wild, wide, specifically wild, and he looked tired already, like really tired. Now, I don't know what round it was, but it really concerned me because I'm rooting for Ngannou. Like, if he even just drops Tyson Fury once or twice badly, it would be huge. Like, if he shows he's so close to beating him via a sharp shot that just puts Tyson down for the 10 count, that would be a win. Like, crazy win. Especially if he does it once or twice more than Deontay Wilder could. Because, again, in my opinion, Wilder hits so much harder. And Wilder, he fights tighter. Doesn't fight wide and around. Like, you can see if I do this, I'm swimming with my chin in the air. That's why we call this the swimming motion. If guys are swimming, then all you need to do is attack up the center. And the only problem is, Ngannou on the like in this video and even on some pad videos, he's like and like this almost. That is a problem. He can do that versus lower level competition that freaks out because of his power. But Tyson Fury is just gonna shell up, pop the jab, and land clean straight shot as Ngannou opens up. When he does this, just imagine this punch. You see, straight on the chin, especially if the opponent is coming at you. Super! Pop it right through, drop him with his own body weight and the punch's power. You create a car collision. And then that guy's on the floor, knocked out. And yeah, but okay, it's it's good that he's training with Tyson. My only problem is Tyson was kind of wild and weird with his training methods. So I hope they at least say, hey, we need to tighten up your jab, your fitness, your jab. From there, just the fundamentals, and then we hope Ngannou does better than it's looking right now. Like, I felt bad because I've been rooting for Ngannou since 2018. A lot of people picked him against Stipe the first time. I picked him versus Stipe the first time. I was rooting like a mofo because the idea of this big, powerful beast being the champion was so cool to me. Like, it would have been the first guy that, in my opinion, is a legit heavyweight champion monster, this knockout monster. Because when you think heavyweight, you think Mike Tyson, George Foreman, Joe Frazier, who else? What's his face that fought Muhammad Ali? Come on, why am I forgetting that name right now? Anyway, all these guys that hit like a truck. You think of this big this big mofo. You don't really think of this technical dancing guy that just pitter-pats people and stuff. Now, not saying that any heavyweight champion was like that, but they were never this crazy, and they were never skilled versions of those hulking monsters. And that's a problem with the heavyweight division as a whole. The division isn't that deep with skill. That's why we like the current division, because there's a lot more skill in the UFC. But that's why I was rooting for Ngannou, because I always felt that even though he's so wild, he can tighten it up and stuff. And his performance versus Stipe to get the belt the second time was a lot more technical than people give him credit for. His fight versus Gane was very smart. And that showed that same tightening of the skill gap. And also how he dismantled JDS. That was also actually quite good if you really rewatch it and focus on the technique-driven side of things. But yeah, when he started doing the boxing thing now, I was just like, oh, this is worrying to me. I really hope this is such old footage, like, or just him screaming about because he was tired. Because I know form breaks when you're tired. That's why you push until your form is effed up, and then you record it and start working on it when you feel that tiredness. Okay, next up we'll do the fight predictions real quick of the fight night of Cyril Gane versus Spivak. This is another title contenders kind of fight as well. Or the winner fights Tom Aspinall. I think the winner should fight Tom Aspinall, and then that person gets the title shot. Because we know Sergey Pavlovich is just chilling there, waiting until Jones gives him a shot or retires, and he gets his shot versus maybe the winner of Cyril versus Spivak or Tom Aspinall. This is making an interesting conundrum because, yeah, there's 4 people here, 2 people that legit can fight for the belt right now. Sergey and Spivak to me. So now they're putting him up against Gane, which can also fight for the belt. We wouldn't really be worried if he fought the winner of Stipe versus Jones, especially if he wins once or twice, not just once. And then Tom Aspinall looked insanely good, and he's already chilling there, just outside of that zone. This is really interesting in a way. But yeah, we need a proper title eliminator after this fight. That's actually what I'm concluding right now. Now, yeah, guys, I'm kissing... sorry, Afrikaans you say kies. That's choosing in Afrikaans. I'm choosing Cyril Gane to win via his footwork and defensive wrestling. I think I'm feeling real big John Jones versus Cyril Gane deja vu just now. I'm sorry that I'm saying this now ahead of time, but yeah, if I don't care who wins in this fight as much, I'm not going to watch it this weekend. I need to rest a little bit. I'm going in for procedure tomorrow, operation. I'm going to be resting this weekend. So sadly, I can't get up at 4 a.m. because here where I live, I need to get up this early. I'm not going to get up that early and watch the fights. But I'm picking Cyril Gane via decision. After that, well, I'm just going to say it's because of his footwork, in and out movement, and defensive wrestling. I think he's really been focusing on that. Spivak's way of winning is just the wrestling in total. If he wrestle F's him, meh, it's okay. Then we have Rose Namajunas versus Manon Fiorot, which is a very hard fight for me to predict. It's a hard fight to predict. I rewatched a few fights of Manon earlier, and I was like, she's a big girl. I know that Rose is going up in weight, if I'm not mistaken, as well. But yeah, Manon is a big girl for the division already. And then she's actually quite technical. Her only problem that will be a problem with Rose, if Rose uses the correct strategy, is the footwork. Manon is really heavy on her feet. It's the thing that really caught my attention first. She has power in her hands, but she's really heavy. Now, I hope Rose doesn't think that she's going to take down such a big woman at this division. I didn't check her body stats and stuff. Maybe I should do that. But okay, minus me not knowing her body stats right now, I'm still going with Rose. Because, let's say Manon does move too slow to keep pace or keep up with Rose. Rose's in and out karate style attacks and stuff will be too much, especially if she attacks and moves. Attacks, moves, sets it up for your feints and traps, and then just gets away from the attacks that Manon throws. And also, that's the only thing that stresses me out is, let's say here is Manon. Yeah, I'm going to do this because she's quite a bit bigger than I thought. And here's Rose. If she times Rose with a punch, bah, as she comes in, then Rose is falling on her ass and getting knocked out like cold. Same thing that happened with Aljamain versus Sean O'Malley. But I have a feeling that Manon doesn't have that kind of reaction time and stuff. Because what I saw is a very mechanical and slow through the shoulders. Like, let's say loose. She's not that loose on the shoulders. And that means she has a little bit labored shots. Heavy shots, you can see it landing quite well, but heavy. And also, I saw that she doesn't extend fully with all the punches. Everything has a bend, a slight bend at the end. Very powerful, but those are problems, because anybody who can fight at range, like Rose can exploit somebody that doesn't fully extend with their shots, because they can land shots on you who doesn't extend fully while you are throwing, and then they can evade just as you finally, like just when you're near their chin. And they can do it repeatedly, especially with better footwork as well, because then they don't attack in straight lines. They attack around, laterally, and they will still land, because all they have to do is time you while they move this way. Well, okay, hold on. See, I don't fight orthodox that much, so yeah, moving that way, while they're moving that way. They move that way, you throw, halfway extended, they dip, they attack, bam, hit you on the side of the head, you're on the ground. So, well, okay, I don't think, we still have to see if Rose has power at this weight division. That's another problem. So let's see. I'm picking Rose via decision. I hope Rose doesn't do the dumb thing and tries to wrestle the bigger person at the higher weight class. Like, wrestle them if you see in their tape that they have a wrestling deficiency. Do not wrestle them if they're bigger and don't have a wrestling deficiency, because that is a mixture of problems in a pro level, like at the pro level. The better the people are, the less, the more the size difference makes a difference. The less skilled somebody is, the less their size really is a problem. Because obviously, big round person or big tall person can't use their bodies the way a small person that has a lot more wrestling skill can. But I don't think in this situation it's a good idea in any way. I know Rose is good BJJ, but still, this is not. She lost to a wrestler in her lower weight class. Bad. This is a bad idea. Don't wrestle. I hope Rose uses her footwork and lands strikes moving in and out, and laterally and moving. Also, a lot of leg kicks. A lot of leg kicks, the step-up head kick that she landed on Wei Li, all of that. And just needs to set up traps because she's very good at feinting. Rose is very good at feinting. She needs to set up all the strikes with feints and stuff and then land. So I'm going Rose. Then Benoit versus Thiago Moises. I'm going with Moises. Via TKO. I'm going to say it like that. Yeah. Now, finally, we talk about the big topic here. Conor McGregor versus Micheal Chandler, in December. And how USADA, a lot of people are like, USADA, you guys are letting this guy cheat. I have a weird feeling that it was a publicity stunt a little bit ago, where Conor told people, the UFC told people that Conor is not even in the USADA testing pool yet and stuff. I think that was on purpose, just to subvert what we think. And now he is, and now the fight is still going to be done on December 16th. And I really think that's what happened, because it's generating buzz, it's generating attention, because a lot of people are like, oh crap, he's not going to be able to fight this year. I wish he would. And then suddenly he's fighting this year, and we're just like, woo, let's see this happening. And yeah, I hope it doesn't change, because I heard rumors that it's McGregor versus Gaethje suddenly for the BMF title, and I was like, I hope that doesn't happen. Like, the UFC needs to be smart about this. Hopefully McGregor... see, the only problem is I think Chandler is going to win. A lot of people think Chandler will win versus Conor with wrestling, but I don't think that's actually going to happen. But I hope in a way, like, okay, let's say the perfect McGregor timeline happens and McGregor wins. If McGregor wins, then the Gaethje fight should happen. They shouldn't switch this up and, yeah, just like really royally screw Chandler, because the dude is a company man, but still, he's going to be pissed off about this. I would be pissed off in his position, because I am a company man. So I hope that doesn't happen. I hope rather they let McGregor versus Chandler happen, and then versus Gaethje, because there would be a lot more hype. Like, we would be so much more hyped if McGregor knocks out Chandler, but does it in a stunning way, like crazy. When Gaethje couldn't, Dustin couldn't, like on the feet now. Obviously, he choked him out, but still. And only Oliveira could. Then people are going to be like, holy cow. Okay, this is not me saying MMA math, it's just me using an example. Because people are going to be like, holy shit, the only other person who knocked down Chandler like this and beat him was Charles Oliveira. So Conor and him, damn, holy cow, he can fight for the belt, because obviously at that point, Oliveira versus Islam 2 would have happened as well. This would just boom in buzz. And also, this part about people already chirping about USADA being idiots is really interesting. It's really causing a lot of talk and stuff. So, a lot of discourse. And that's pretty cool, because it's raising the attention towards the fight. And I like that. I really do like that. That's probably what's happening now. It's not going to be an exemption thing. I really hope this. Like, I'm 80% certain that this was all the UFC putting some smoke and mirrors just to increase interest, because, to be honest, a lot of us were reacting the way Conor is reacting to Chandler and the idea of this fight the last while. We were like, Chandler? You see? And that's crazy to me, to think that we're all like, man, it's Micheal Chandler. Meanwhile, the dude's in crazy fights all the time. He fights with his heart on his sleeve, and he just swings for the fences. And that's probably what's going to happen when he fights Conor. And if Conor is patient and he can hold out like he did versus Nate Diaz in the rematch, then maybe he will win via TKO by catching Chandler. The only thing is the leg kicks. And also Chandler will attempt wrestling like he has been doing versus Gaethje and versus Dustin, but just like he did with them. He'll do it and then revert to just striking, or revert to doing it at a point when he's too tired and get choked. Holy cow, imagine Conor McGregor chokes at Micheal Chandler. Crazy, man. That would be crazy. Anyway, guys, I think this is just for the buzz. I think the fight's still going to happen. I'm picking Chandler away ahead for like early predictions, but in a way, I'm rooting for Conor because Conor just generates a different kind of buzz when he fights, man. It's so fun. And same with Chandler, actually. If he fights, it's always like, we're going to see blood and guts, and we're just going to see swinging for the fences, blood and guts, and all this kind of stuff. That's why I was shocked when he fought Oliveira, and he was kind of technical until he wasn't. But yeah, and that's why versus Gaethje, I was shocked that he started off technical, and then suddenly it was like, all right, there's blood, let's just start swinging. And obviously, Gaethje was like, I'm not swinging like an idiot. Those days are way behind me. I know I can fight like that and break you. Well, that's probably what he thinks every time, but I'm not gonna. I'm not indulging in that. Well, not as much as he used to. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna say goodbye. If you guys are wondering why I'm a little bit incoherent and stuff this time, the Crohn's disease that I'm living with. Today when I woke up way late, tired as hell. You can probably see in my face and stuff. I'm a bit weak, and yeah, I can really feel it. So tonight I'm getting a good night's of sleep, and tomorrow I'm getting a procedure done on me. They're lasering the last bit of kidney stones out of my kidney. Apparently, the Crohn's disease is causing bad absorption in my kidneys, meaning I have too much oxalate and then not enough calcium, so that the oxalate can combine, just move through. So in other words, it just builds up oxalate, calcium oxalate, creating kidney stones. And that's even with me drinking my O2. I drink 3 liters of water a day. It's still not enough. We're going to need to adjust their diet. No more sugar, basically, or just a lot less. And yeah, that really has been affecting me the last while. That and the Crohn's disease being a little bit upset. And what happens is you get brain fog or brain swelling and all kinds of shit like that. Because a lot of people don't understand the condition that I have, but it's quite bad. That's why I haven't been training and stuff, and not been as active. But yeah, I'm back with a bang. Sadly, this is a 30-minute video, and I'm guessing not a lot of people are going to watch it. But I have faith. We're looking for 10 people to watch it. Just check it out. Then I'm happy. So cheers, guys. Have a good night, well, or good day. And I'll see you in the next video. That's probably going to be 10 times shorter than this one. I think I'm going to spread out the next topics with 1 or 2 topics per video. Yeah, this is an example of where I wanted to go more in depth about this and just talk to you guys. Cheers.